What's up, everybody? How you doing? This is Philosophy with Phil Williams. How you guys doing today? Man, miss you dearly. I hope you guys had a great holiday with family and friends, honoring those who established your life for you and just brought you joy that might not have been able to celebrate with you for whatever reason. I'd like to welcome you guys. How you doing, Kevin Hughes? Ken Dodge, what's up, buddy? How you guys doing? Shannen Baxter, I hope you're doing well. Sharon Walker, how you doing, Sharon? Judy Dodd, how you guys doing? Welcome to the show, Jim Briggs. Welcome, guys. If you guys are tuning in for the first time to Philosophy, welcome. Ray Bly, thanks for the donation, man. Thank you. Tony Taylor, everybody. Guys, Susan Brumfield, how you doing, Susan? Naomi Wrought, how you doing? But anyway, if you guys are tuning into Philosophy for the first time, I'd like to welcome you. Please share me with your friends if you feel that it's appropriate. I am a true Christian, true conservative. I love my country. I am a disabled veteran, combat disabled veteran. I don't want any special privileges. I don't. The things that I share with you that I do is I'm going to do them whether you support it or not. I share them with you because your support can make these things easier. But I'm not afraid of the heavy lifting. I do these things because I see what needs to be done for our children, for our future generations. I see what needs to be done when it comes to us adults. I see it. You see it too. I just don't believe that everything is a political solution. Matter of fact, I believe that probably none of it is political as far as how I look at it. And it should be we the people, not them the government. But I am not for overthrowing the government. That's not what I'm for. The government has a role, it has a place. It just shouldn't be first, second, or third, in my opinion. As a Christian, we are designed by faith, by our Creator, to do some amazing things. Period. And so if I can get 2 or 3 of us that know that we can do something amazing, if I can get 2 or 3 of us together in His name, we'll move mountains. We will solve problems. This is what we're designed to do by creation. I believe this wholeheartedly. We're doing some amazing things right now. Which brings me to today. Again, welcome. How you doing, sir? Sir Markadoo. Marcus Higgins, how you doing? Stuart Prettle, Kylie Addison. I would say hello to all you guys all day. But this is what brings me to this post today. I want to speak to the majority, the true, real majority in America. That's what I want to speak to today. No, it's not the white people. And as you guys seen in my lead up to this, I can't stand this race argument. I can't stand it. As a Christian, I can't stand it. If you notice, if you guys been listening to me, I don't want to get special privileges because I am tall. I can't stand the race argument. Why? Because it's not about race. It's about sin. Period. In the discussion, it's about sin. Sin uses race to cover up the fact that you are sinning. Yes, for sake of conversation, yes, we use the color black people and white people, but that's not what it's about. It's about sinning people. People who are sinning. And politics loves it. It demands it. So this message today is for us Christians, the real majority in America. We are the majority. Has nothing to do with color. You can't find where God made it about color in the Bible that you're supposed to read and know that gives you the roadmap to your eternal salvation. You're supposed to know this. You're supposed to function like this. But yes, Vicki Morgan, like Adam and Eve, and I'm going to use this, I'm going to jump on what Vicki Morgan just said right here. She said, like Adam and Eve. Let me tell you what Adam and Eve set forward that makes us messed up with our relationship with God. Is that they sinned and didn't own up to it. Adam blamed God. Then we were punished for sin. So God is trying to tell you, when you blame others, you get punished. Accept the responsibility for what you did. You violated what I said. And now you're blaming me. Now I'm going to punish you. So whenever we blame someone else, we're continuing to be punished for it. Like Adam and Eve. So now, what brings me here today is, Christians, are you listening? Today, you're going to have to choose which master you're going to serve. You can't serve two masters. Politics is its own master. Politics, the one thing that's common on both sides of the aisle, every single one of their so-called solutions has nothing to do with God. Nothing. Nothing to do with God. Democrats are not trying to lead you closer to God, and Republicans are now not trying to lead you closer to God. And it hasn't been happening in this country for a long time. And now those godless chickens are coming home to roost. And us Christians, the real true majority in this country, is choosing today to serve the political master. See, our Bible tells us to rejoice when the righteous are in authority. This is what our Bible tells us. So God understands politics. And he does want righteous people to be in authority over his people. And that's what we're supposed to rejoice for. What we're rejoicing for is when a party wins an election. You're rejoicing for it, and none of those people are trying to lead you closer to God. They're leading you closer to government, which wants to be a God. Politics. And you're rejoicing, you're at their campaign rallies, you're at their winning speeches, and you're looking for the loser to concede, and all these things, and you're not rejoicing over righteousness. You're rejoicing over politics, which is compromised to the core. Politics compromises. And the first thing politics compromises is the Lord. You're choosing policy over principle. Because you're functioning worldly, and us majority Christians should know better. They're not righteous in authority, so what are you rejoicing for? And then when you get caught up in this race argument, you never get to the brass tacks of what's going on. Greedy people are sinning. Greedy people are making the laws. Greedy people are doing these hideous things to God's people. And they're getting you to participate in it. And you're willing to come on these social media sites and dog each other. God's creation. You're willing to come on here and dog each other for a political solution, which is not a solution at all. It takes you further and further away from the amazing things you can do. The amazing things we can do. Choose ye which master you're going to serve today. Rejoice when the righteous are in authority. Why? Because, see, let me show you something. Don't use Webster's dictionary to define God's words. God's definition of perfect is different than man's definition of perfect. See, God's definition of perfect is never that is sinless. That's not God's definition of perfect. God's definition of perfect is, when you sin, you know where to turn to. When you make a mistake, when you fall short, you're going to turn to him. He sent his only begotten son to save the world from itself. And us Christians are supposed to know that through Jesus Christ, we can do anything. And when we make a mistake and fall, we don't blame people, because we know the story of Adam and Eve, and we turn to God and we repent. That means you turn away from the sin that you did. You repent. See, righteous people know this. Righteous people do not make mistakes. Righteous people make mistakes. They just know where to turn when they do. They know what to turn away from when they do. See, us Christians are supposed to know this. But we're trading policy. We're manly things, manly emotions, manly rules, manly authority. We're trading policy for the sake of our principles. We're supposed to know as principles what's not of God, regardless of how prosperous it might make you feel, regardless of how powerful it makes you feel. You're supposed to know what is of God and what is not of God. Politics is designed to get you as far away from God as possible and make the politician the authority. They have you rejoicing over the wrong authority, which is causing a division between you and me. Choose ye today which master you're going to serve. Christians, I expect the world to do what they do. That's why Jesus Christ came. He came because God so loved the world, he sent his only begotten son. Whoever believes in him will not perish, but will have everlasting life. He came for the world. And us as Christians are supposed to love the hell out of the world. See, when you make it about race, when you make it about economics, when you make it about healthcare, not healthcare, when you make it about these things and you're looking for a political solution to a moral issue, that's where we fail. That's where we fail our children. We're training our children to look for political solutions versus morals and values. We're training our children to reverence a politician. And our politician has paved the way for our children to not reverence God. See, we can blame the Democrats for taking Jesus out of school. We can blame them. But guess what? We had the Republicans. They didn't put him back in. We can blame the Democrats for creating policies of abortion. But guess what? The Republicans don't stop it. We can blame the Democrats for getting people hooked on health insurance, trading health care for health insurance for the government control it. We can blame the Democrats for it, but the Republicans don't stop it. See, there's a lot of things we can blame the Democrats for, but isn't blaming the way we got into this situation and out of favor with God in the first place? We can blame the Democrats, who are really the true racists, making things about race, but are we stopping it? There's one race, the human race, period. It's sin that's being perpetuated on God's people. It's sin, period. See, righteous people know this. That doesn't mean that I'm better than anybody or anything like this, but I want to always turn to God. It doesn't make me sinless. It doesn't make me blameless. But in God's definition, that's the kind of person that he's looking for to help deliver his people. Remember Noah? Noah was perfect, but he wasn't sinless and he wasn't blameless. And God used him to deliver his people. Remember Moses? He was perfect in God's eyes, but he wasn't sinless and blameless. He used him to deliver his people. You remember David and them? See, he didn't use them to deliver his people, but he used them to show what amazing things our young people can do. See, older folks are supposed to deliver his people. Younger folks are supposed to inspire his people. What I try to do is deliver his people from the clutches of government, from the clutches of racism, or what we think is racism, from the clutches of materialism, from the clutches of your fleshly desires being perpetuated in a policy that makes you feel good when you're giving up your principles for it. This is what I do. God has blessed me to do it at a platform that's just a little bit above being a bum in the alley. He blessed me with a studio. He blessed me with you guys. He blesses me with an audience. I ask you people to assist me. I ask for gas money. I ask for $1 here. I ask for $5. I create a product. I just ask you to buy the product and disseminate it to our children. I'm not asking for a handout. I ask for you guys to what? Give. And show you what we can do without the government's permission. But I'm demonstrating it first. I'm functioning my conservatism. I'm functioning my belief in Jesus. I'm functioning my understanding of accountability. That's why I put functioning conservatism, functioning Christianity, and accountability will save our country. And if the real majority, which is us Christians, would understand that we're not rejoicing in righteousness, we're rejoicing in policy. We're not voicing in righteousness, we're voicing in policy. And we're training our children. We're setting the environment for our children to perpetuate the same foolishness. And then we still want to be blessed. We are violating everything that we are supposed to believe as Christians. We're violating it and expecting to be blessed. We're putting status on unrighteous people. God gave us Barack Obama. God gave us Donald Trump. Foolishness. God gave us Jesus Christ. God just didn't stop our decision to choose a king over Jesus. He just didn't stop it. But I'm here to encourage you to choose ye which master you're going to serve today. See, if we can, you're right, Anthony Bibbins, if we can function in love, just love. See, there's no love in the policy, but there's love in principles. If we can function in love, see, when you give your child a spanking, it's not out of hate. They feel like it's hate. Why? Because they're influenced by a bunch of outside forces. But you're disciplining your child out of love. You're telling them no out of love, out of concern. That concern should be that if I allow you to do this, it will get you further and further away from Jesus. I'm supposed to train you up in a way that you should go so when you're older, you won't part from it. See, what you're witnessing in our politics is a bunch of older people that were trained into being godless. And now they are the people that are an authority over our life. And we are to rejoice when the righteous are in authority. And none of these people in authority are trying to function righteously. They're trying to function according to their donor, according to special interests, according to party, not principle. We're voting for our own demise as Christians. Give you an example. They'll tell you, vote your emotions, healthcare, children starving, and all these things, and you Christians will buy into it. People shouldn't starve. People shouldn't be unhealthy. No, we should look out for the people who are starving. We got to get rid of poverty. Christians, do you know that our Jesus told us the poor will always be amongst us? You can't get rid of poverty. You can address it because you addressing it is what's going to get you to heaven, but you can't get rid of it. But you're not supposed to address it at the expense of your salvation, your eternal life. Give you an example. Yes, you're addressing the politician that says poverty. You're addressing the politician that says health care. Oh, note to the people in the cheap seats. Everybody has a pre-existing condition. You know what the pre-existing condition is? Death. We're all gonna die. So don't get caught up in the emotional argument of pre-existing conditions, because that condition is pre-existing in all of us. But you vote for this foolishness. Feeding and getting rid of poverty, which God said you never do. They'll always be here. How you address it is what's going to get you into heaven. Lazarus and the rich man. Lazarus made it into heaven poor. Ring a bell. Rich man went to hell being selfish. didn't address it. He didn't try to deliver Lazarus from a situation. He just punished the person who didn't address it. Healthcare. Pre-existing conditions. We all have a pre-existing condition. But then you'll vote for that. But then they'll tell you that you have to let a confused man that thinks he wants to be a woman come into the bathroom with your child. Were you voting for that? You have to accept climate change is a bad thing. If the climate doesn't change, is a bad thing. God has been changing the climate. Why are you listening to man try to take advantage of something God has been doing just because it gets hot sometimes and it gets cold sometimes? First it was global warming. Then when it started getting cold, they couldn't have global warming anymore. So now they had to change to climate change. Duh, the climate changes. If it doesn't change, that's where you need to be concerned. But now you'll buy into climate change so that you will usher in catering to confusion. Transgenders and all this, guess what? Let you be. I'll love the hell out of you. But as a Christian, I can't participate in that confusion. I don't care what scientist says. I can't. I can let you be, but I don't have to participate. Matter of fact, I won't participate in that. The only participation you'll get from this Christian is prayer and let you be. But there's no amount of health care and no amount of poverty that I understand with Jesus Christ. There's no amount of it that's going to have me accept and vote for people that's going to usher this foolishness in on my children and your children. There's no amount of votes. That policy will never fly with me to have me violate my principle. It doesn't mean I have to overthrow the person that's trying to get. That doesn't mean I have to go out and wipe out all homosexuals. That doesn't mean that. God will take care of that. I just don't have to participate in it. A no vote is the most valuable vote for a Christian. And don't get caught up into emotional arguments. First Amendment. Yes, First Amendment is there in the Constitution. I honor it. I went to war and fought for it. I got injured for it. But when it comes to my principles, the policy of the First Amendment has limitations for me. And I try to encourage for you. Just because you got the right doesn't make it the right. That's what our faith demands us to think like. Just because you have the right, it doesn't make it right. No matter what man says. That's what our faith tells us. And when you function like that, you're functioning in righteousness. And that we should rejoice for. You're the first authority in your life. Once you get of age, God wants you to accept Jesus Christ as your authority. And then he wants you to imitate him. What did Jesus do about the transgenders? What did Jesus do about the homosexuals? What did Jesus do about the adulterers? What did Jesus do about the hypocrites? What did Jesus do about the starving? What did Jesus do? Not what Jesus said, what did Jesus do? And then he spoke. And he said, greater are the things that you will do than I. So he demonstrated it for you so you can see what it looks like. And he's trying to get you to go out there and duplicate that. It's showing that Phil Williams and people like Shannen Joy is on the right track. Look at what they're doing to Shannen. Look at what they're doing to her. Yes, she talks politics, but she's not ashamed to share her love and understanding of Jesus Christ. She's not playing the race game. She's talking politics. I talk politics. Why? Because it's a factor in our life. But she's also trying to shrink government in the dynamic of your thought, just like me. The thing that conservatism demands. And grow Jesus in you, the thing Christianity demands. And be held accountable. The thing that will get you the keys to that mansion that God has for you in the kingdom of heaven. Accountability. We are running around trying to use policy. Christians, you're running around trying to use policy to keep you from bearing your cross. You're trying to make life easier for you as a Christian through policy, when your principles tells you that you are to bear your cross. And Jesus showed you that you won't die on it. It'll be some heavy lifting. It'll be hard. You're going to have to give up some stuff, but it's worth it in the end. You're trying to get somebody to enact some godless worldly policy to make it easier on you as a Christian. That's a lie from the pit of hell. You're trading your principles for a policy. So in closing, to the true majority in America, choose ye which master you're going to serve today. Our situation is not a political solution because both sides of the aisle are functioning utterly godless, misusing the name of Jesus to get you to support their policies. And you're violating your principles at every turn. Shannen asks and deserves your support. I'm asking for your support. It's not just about Giving Tuesday. It's about loving our children every day. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going out there and I'm trying to get in between the negative, godless conversation that our children are experiencing on a daily basis. I use little Jimmy and my principles to get in between that godless conversation and share something of morals and values to our children, not waiting for a politician to do a dang thing for our children, because they won't. They will support these childish acting president before they go help your children. And then they'll get you to come beat me up over it. That's the facts, Jack. We cannot let negativity and sin and race and the thing be the only thing communicating to our children and engaging our children in dance and song. We cannot do this, people. We have to get something righteous into our children's eyes and ears, into their conscience. We got to get something patriotic into their thought process. That's why I ask for you to give to Philosophy, Phil Williams, Mustard Seed Faith, and Men on Point. Now the GFL, God's Faith League, my gospel group of over 40-year-old gospel artists trying to mentor these younger artists into understanding what the responsibilities they're supposed to have with their gifts and talents. Because we have to raise them to be older people to deliver God's people. We have to get them being young people doing amazing things to inspire God's people. We got to get our young men to know that in order to feed the community, the young lad has the fish and the bread. Not the politician, not the rich man, not the grocery store. A lad, the young men in the community has the substance to feed the community. But it's going to take somebody righteous with Jesus in them to multiply it. This is why our young people are under attack so much by the enemy. Inspired to go out there and do God-awful things and make money and get popular. They get popular by setting themselves on fire, eating spoonfuls of cinnamon, jumping out of moving cars. And I ask for you to give so that I can get in between that communication and inspire them to want to be inspiring according to the way God created them. Not some god-awful artist. That's what the GFL does. Me and my boy Poetic, Shadid Swanson. That's what we do. I ask you to go support the song. They labeled my song explicit. It's a gospel song. No explicit. The only thing explicit in there is that I'm explicitly repping Jesus Christ. And they put explicit on my song. to deter parents from engaging in this song and getting this to get to their children. Yes, I might be a nobody, but to Satan, I'm a somebody. I might be a nobody to you. I might not be big enough on a totem pole to get you to donate $1. I might not be popular enough to get you to share me with your friends. I might not be superstar enough to get you to support little Jimmy. But guess what? To the devil, I'm not a nobody. And he labeled my song explicit, thinking it's going to stifle me becoming a somebody in this world. But you Christians should go support it. It's 99 cents. Make it go viral. Go to Amazon. It's on all the platforms. Go to Amazon. It's 99 cents. Buy it. Look for Philosophy, That Face. Support it. It's 99 cents. You're ready to go give an unrighteous politician $33,000 max donation. Quiet as kept, I'm going to say this. I have not received one donation on Giving Tuesday. It's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing. But don't you think that's strange? Don't you think that's strange? Choose ye which master you're going to serve today. Support Shannen Joy. Support Phil Williams. We're consistent Christian conservatives sharing inspirational things and pointing out this foolishness in politics. Support it. Shannon, if you need a studio, man, I got you. You tell me what we need to do. If I need to get some kind of thing and we pipe it up there, trust me, I got 4,900 followers. If I can get these 4,900 people to donate $1, Shannon, we'll be fine. And our message will continue. But if they don't, guess what, Shannon? Let's communicate. We can still make it happen because 2 or 3. And I have a good 10 people that consistently donate. Trust me. That's enough if God's hands is in it. People, stop voting for your own demise. Get the righteous in authority. First, be righteous and be in authority. Then get Jesus Christ to be your authority to help keep you righteous. And then rejoice. Politics is a representation of us. They're unrighteous because we're compromised. We're electing compromised people because we have compromised. We went for the policy versus sticking to our principles. And all that we have left is blaming others. And that doesn't work out well for humanity. We're all going to die. That's our pre-existing condition. Thanks to Adam and Eve blaming. And we're being kicked out of the garden because we're functioning like Cain and Abel, using this tongue to murder and try to hide it. And then that's what's getting us kicked out. Adam and Eve made us have to work. Cain and Abel got us kicked out. And we're doing those two things right now to this day. Go to Lil Jimmy DJ Poz, LILJIMMY DJPOZ. Make a donation. It's Giving Tuesday, but guess what? I need you to make it living the rest of our lives. Help me go help our children. Help me go get in between this negative foolishness that's killing our communities. Help me go inspire these young men to have the right kind of fish and bread to feed the community. Help me. Help Shannen Joy be able to continue with the voice that God has blessed her to have. You can mail a check or money order to P.O. Box 3331, Decatur, Georgia, 30031. Write it to Mustard Seed Faith. That's a 501c3. That's my church under Pastor Jimmy A. Copeland. I have the Cash App. It's $Phil Jimmy. You can make a donation there. On our website, liljimmydjpoz.jimdo.com. JimDoingSomething.com. Go there. It's tax deductible. Minimum point is a 501c3 that's been in functioning for over 10 years. I tried to create a Facebook fundraiser, but they said I didn't fit their criteria in their category. Not surprising to me. I'm surprised that I get to talk to you now. And for all you guys that donate consistently, thank you. You just don't understand how powerful your $10, $20, $100, $200, you just don't know how powerful that is. And how much it inspires me, and it just helps keep things chugging along. I love you guys. Trust me, I don't have you here just to agree with me. Disagree with me. That's life. I'm going to bear my cross. I'm not trying to make bearing my cross easier. I just want bearing my cross to be effective. I want you to bear your cross and be effective. Don't try to make it easier, because then you'll go for policy and violate your principles. Christians, we are the majority. And it has nothing to do with our color. We have to address sin. Period. Hey, I love you guys. Please support us. Shannon, I love you with everything you got. Let's talk. If there's something I can do that can help you, please let me know. Support Shannen Joy. Support what I'm doing. Support a third party. Third party conservatives. Join that group. Support that. But more so, keep with your principles. I love you guys. Talk to you later. God bless.